Hello Year 8, I am going to quickly take you through the parts of a microscope. Okay, so I have my microscope right here. As you'll notice, it has two eyepieces, which means that it's a binocular microscope, two. Otherwise, it's very similar to your monocular microscope. So we'll start at the top. We have these eyepieces, or ocular lenses, ocular meaning eye. So you look through those, and then coming down, we have this bit, which is called the head, or in monocular microscopes, it's just like a long tube, so it's called a barrel. Now, when we carry a microscope, we always hold it from here. This is the strongest part of the microscope. That's called the arm. Now, if we look over here, we've got four lenses. These are called objective lenses, and they range in size. So if you look on them, you can see the magnification. So that one has a magnification of 4. This one has a magnification of 100 times, which is quite big, 40, and 10. Now, the magnification of the eyepieces are 10 times. So to figure out your total magnification, you times 10 times by whatever magnification you're looking at here. So if we're using this one with 4, that's the smallest magnification, times 10 is 40. So when you're looking through that one, what you're looking at is 40 times its original size. So if you were going to look through this one, which is 40 times, and then you've got the eyepiece, which is 10 times. 10 times 40 is 400 times. So that's whatever you're looking at is 400 times its original size. So pretty big. This part here that holds all the objective lenses is called a nose piece. Nose piece. And then this bit here, which is where you put your slide, is called the stage, where all the action happens. This here is called a stage clip, and it basically just holds the microscope slide in place. So if I've got a microscope slide here, you put it in there and see it sits up in this corner, and then this clip kind of just holds it in place. So that's the stage clip. Looking at the stage, if we turn it around, these little knobs here move the stage back and forth. So that one moves it like up and down, and then this one moves it side to side. So you can actually see this one is moving the entire stage, whereas this one is only moving this clip that's holding the microscope slide. So that's helpful to move it around whilst you're looking at it. All right. Now, what else have we got? We got this big knob here, and which is called it's actually got 2 knobs on it. You can turn these bits separately. So the large part is the coarse focus, which actually moves the stage up and down. See that? And then the smaller part is the fine focus, which is still moving the stage up and down, but only at a very smaller rate. So sometimes on some microscopes, you might have 2 knobs. You might have a big one for coarse and a smaller one for fine. This one is all sort of in the one section, but there's 2 separate bits that you can turn. Okay. Now, what do we got underneath the stage? We have this, which is called a condenser, which is basically like like your iris in your eye. It goes smaller and bigger to let in more or less light. So the condenser, you can adjust with this little knob, which makes that bit go up and down. But see, all microscopes are quite different, even though they all have the same basic things. So this one has this amazing light adjustment, which can actually turn your light down and up. So we don't need the condenser as much. I know it's confusing, but yeah, when you look at your orange microscopes at school, you can see the difference. So every microscope has an eyepiece. Every microscope has a head or barrel. Every microscope has this nose piece. Every microscope has objective lenses. Every microscope has a stage. They all have coarse and fine focuses. They all have a base. They all have a lamp. If they don't have a lamp attached to it, they might have a mirror, and then you put a lamp here that shines onto the mirror and then goes up. And they all have an arm that you carry it with. Now I'm going to show you how to focus the microscope. Now, to start with focusing your microscope, you need to start on the smallest objective lens. So the smallest one we have here is the 4 times and 10 times, so that's 40 times. So it's on the smallest one, and then we use the coarse focus to bring the stage all the way up to the top. So that's as high as it can go, can't go any higher. And then we look inside. Okay, so this is now looking through the microscope at the slide I've just put on the stage. The slide just has a little piece of newsprint on it with the letter E. So right now we're looking at that newspaper at 40 times magnification. Now, the stage is up as high as it goes, so I'm going to use the coarse focus to slowly lower it and see if we can get it in focus. There we go. So that's in focus. Now I can use the fine adjustment to kind of fine tune it. See how I overshot it then and it went a bit cloudy. All right, yeah. So that fine focus kind of just gets it even more crisp, the picture. Now I'll show you what it looks like when I use the stage adjustment knobs or stage controls. See, I can move it either way, up and down, like I showed you, and side to side. Now, what's interesting about this is when I look at my slide, the E is up the right way and facing the right direction. But when we look at it through the microscope, it doesn't look like it is around the right way. Can you see how it has altered the view of, or the direction of the E? Okay, now whilst we're looking at it, I'll turn the light down so you can see what difference that makes on the view. Well, see, that's actually with the light turned off completely. So now we're looking at it from the top down. We're not actually looking through it anymore, which is pretty cool. You can really see all the particles in the paper. Turn the light back up and you can see straight through it. All right, I'm going to show you a different type of microscope now. So we just looked at the light microscope, which shines light through an object and you can see a cross section of it. Now I'm going to show you a microscope that you can look at 3D objects with. So if you have like a leaf or soil or a bug that you want to look at closely, you can use this type of microscope. And it's called a stereo microscope. So you can see it's a bit different. It doesn't have a stage for a slide, but it has this base. And it only has a coarse focus that moves it up and down. But it also has this. So you can loosen this and lift the entire thing up and down. We have the eyepiece, which is 10 times. Then we have the nose piece, which holds the objective lens. Here's the objective lens, 2 times. Eyepiece is 10 times. So what does that make the total magnification of this one? These could be called stage clips. These basically hold your specimen in place. so it doesn't move. So you can just lift them over the top of whatever you're looking at. And yeah, coarse focus. I think that's all really on this one. These are really great for looking at objects that you can't shine light through. And I've got here next to me a digital version of this. So this is basically the same in that it looks at solid like objects. So this is what it looks like. The coarse focus is this thing. That's how you focus stuff with this. And then you can also adjust it here. And that makes it go up and down. Actually, so technically this would be the coarse focus and this would be the fine focus for this stereo microscope. Yeah, as I said, all microscopes are different. So this one only has the coarse, moving it up and down. This one has coarse and fine. So let's look at some stuff. All right, so I've just got this leaf from a peace lily plant. And I can't actually show you how to look through this one because I don't have a camera that goes through it. But I'll just quickly turn it on for you and see how the light source is up the top. Whereas the light microscope, the light came from the bottom and shone through it. So that's a big difference with this. Light source from the top. But what I will do is I'll put it under this one. Again, light source is at the top. It's actually inside that little guy. And I'll show you what this leaf looks like. So we're looking through the digital stereo microscope right now, and I'm going to try and focus this by using the coarse adjustment and slowly moving it up away. Okay, so I've now hit a point where this is as high as it goes on my coarse adjustment. So I'm going to move it up from that. Do you remember that knob I showed you that slides the entire microscope up and down its stand? I'm going to move that now. So that looks a bit of clarity. So I'm just tightening that now, and I'll go back to the coarse adjustment and try and get it a bit more in focus. Okay, so there's our leaf. And now I'm going to use that fine focus, which is on the barrel of the microscope. See, it goes past it. And okay, so it seemed like we had it pretty good. So there's the leaf. It looks very plasticky. I'm going to turn it over. Let's look at the bottom. Ooh. So the bottom looks like a bit fluffier than the top. Anyway, so that's that. And if you want, you can look at my finger. You can look at your own finger. Look at that. You can see how dry my cuticles are. It's not nice to look at your skin close up. Ugh. You can see what's really going on. And like, you can look at your thumbprint, your fingerprint. Ooh, there we go. You can really see the skin fingerprint there. If you've done Year 8 STEM, you might know about how to identify that fingerprint. But anyway, there it is.